For 45 years, CBER has been the premier research center for Southern Nevada in business and government. Over time, CBER's mission and role has expanded to not only help our community leaders, but also the broader public on issues as far-reaching as Nevada's Kids Count Project, to the Clark County population forecast, leading tourism indexes, and even a study on Nevada's desert tortoise population. Today, you'll hear more about UNLV's role as a public resource as Nevada's own Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brian Labus, epidemiologist and assistant professor at UNLV School of Public Health, discusses ongoing challenges of the pandemic and what we can expect in the months ahead. Afterwards, Nevada's own Jerome Powell, Professor Stephen Miller, will give an economic update and forecast for the state, the broader U.S. economy over the next several years.
If you start to vaccinate people, it can't spread as easily. And so if we vaccinate 2/3 of the people, this means that the outbreak basically can't sustain itself, because not only are we stopping it from that initial person spreading it, they didn't infect anybody, and those people can no longer infect somebody else. And so if we vaccinate 2/3 of our people, we are basically able to say each person only replaces themselves with an infected person, which means the outbreak is going to remain stable or decrease if we can get that to less than 1.
We had some questions come in from our audience while you're giving your presentation. The first one is, how likely are we to have a fourth wave of infections this winter?
We are still going to see transmission of disease throughout this fall and winter. The question is it going to be a wave like we've seen before? We know there's going to be ongoing disease. It'll probably look very different than the previous waves just because of adding vaccination to the mix. But at the same time, we've also gotten rid of face masking in general. Even though 2/3 of the population is not vaccinated, I would say way more than 2/3 of the population is not wearing masks now. So we know that people aren't necessarily following the rules, and all those things will affect the pattern of disease into the fall. We're still going to see transmission. What that wave looks like is really going to be the question.
This time is different. It's not like your ordinary recession. It's not that the Federal Reserve took away the punch bowl and the economy slowly went into recession. No. This was a COVID recession, a pandemic, and the government shut the economy down. And it happened so quickly, we lost more employment in Las Vegas in 2 months than we had gained since the end of the Great Recession to February of 2020. So in fact, we're predicting a return to potential in the third quarter of 2022. I think that our forecast is a little bit conservative. Others are forecasting a more rapid return.
CBER, with our partners at the Lee Business School and UNLV, are ready to do more, be more, and say more when answering the call to action on behalf of the public and our clients like you. That's because we all know ideas can change the world, but it takes a rebel to make it happen. It is with this that I'm excited to be taking the helm of CBER and help Nevada write the next chapter of our history.